Mr. Urban Phenom, dropping lyrical bombs. Niggas got heart, but no chin. Amir Khan, always ready for war. I don't have to turn it on. I'm the best at what I do, and that's just being me. The devil's a lie.
Alright, we back with another edition of the Swag Science. In this episode, we're gonna talk about the highly anticipated matchup between Nonito Donaire and Guillermo Rigondeaux. Now, what makes this fight so interesting is you have two elite level boxers who also have great power. You have Donaire, who's a future Hall of Famer, and currently I feel he's a top 3 pound for pound fighter. And then you have Rigondeaux, who's little on pro fights, but he has an extensive amateur career, and he's also a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Enough with the introductions, now let's take a look at the fighters. First off, Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, great ring generalship, good poise. He's very selective with his shots, almost too selective. He's not the most active of fighters in the ring. He doesn't really pump out a commanding, damaging jab, but it is a good rangefinder that helps set up his offense. Now, sometimes with that offense, he could telegraph it a little bit, like right now. You know he's just looking for the uppercut. But if he actually stuck out that jab hard and had the guy come into it and be committed with that jab, he could land that shot a little better. But he still makes that work for him with his style. Excellent body shot. Guy never saw it coming. But the thing with these body shots, especially with the left, you gotta be cautious, because you could get hit with a left hook. Just like that with Ramos. The thing is, Ramos doesn't throw a good left hook. Nonito Donaire does. So that's one thing that Rigondeaux is going to have to be wary of. Even though Rigondeaux is highly skilled, I feel his offense gets a little predictable at times. Like, what I mean by that, he kind of overdoes it with the straight lefts and the lefts to the body. I would like to see him incorporate more right hooks, more right uppercuts. Just vary the offense a little bit. You really see him come out of that shell when he's about to finish guys, because he does know how to put guys out of there, and you see right here. But like I said, everything is mostly with the left hand. Now the thing is, with all that predictability I'm talking about, that guys kind of prepare themselves to take that punch that they know is coming for them all the time. See, even right here, he know it's only the left to worry about, so he sees that little weak ass jab and he lands a left hook over the top. That hurts Rigondeaux. Now Rigondeaux still kicked this guy's ass, don't get me wrong. And you see him swagging it out a little bit. He gets caught with another left hook. That kind of stuns him a little bit. But this fighter, he didn't know how to put his punches together after he had him hurt. Kind of smothered his offense. See, everything that Rigondeaux does with the right hand is usually in a sequence. It's never really a good lead punch for him. Alright, now we're going to take a look at Donaire's fight with Concepcion. Now this is a good little fight you could watch and really see a lot of different things Donaire could do. Now, he has a great offensive arsenal. He's going to bring it. And this guy brings it to Donaire, so it really forces you to see every part of his game in this fight. Now, when you bring the heat too much to Donaire and try to force these exchanges, that's setting yourself up to get countered. Because Donaire is excellent when it comes to countering in exchanges and punching when other fighters are punching, similar to Danny Garcia. But I would say more talented and more athletic in the process. Now, Donaire has good defense, and he gets underrated in that aspect. He has great ring generalship, good all-around punches. You see that? Pull back right hand counter. They in some exchanges again. I said that's a bad idea. Donaire's also good at feints. He could be very deceptive with his offense. See, look, right now he's boxing. But normally you would think that right hand is gonna come right away. It doesn't. He waits for you to stop thinking that the right hand is gonna come right away, and that's when he throws it. Even right here, over the top, look like some Floyd Mayweather shit right there. And he comes with the left. But those exchanges, see, sometimes they beneficial for the opponent because he was able to land a nice one on him. God damn, that was a nasty right hand right there. Overall, you know, fighting Donaire is a tall order for anybody. Now, as far as this fight with Rigondeaux, we both kind of saw their strengths and weaknesses. Donaire's weakness, he could be impatient at times. And he could really just stop doing the things that he should be doing. He gets carried away sometimes with the power. He's like just too anxious. I feel he corrected that problem in the Nishioka fight. I'm sorry if I'm fucking up his name, but y'all, the Japanese dude, y'all know what I'm talking about. You saw how he kind of solved that problem in that fight. And the thing is with Donaire too, you gotta remember a lot of his opponents, they already know what he's capable of. So they kind of just tense up. They don't go after him no more like that. They know that, okay, this guy has a big punch. If I give him too much of opening, he's gonna do some crazy shit. So they kind of respect Donaire too much. That's why sometimes his fights pan out the way they do. I don't think you're gonna have that problem with Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, he's gonna look to set up something big and early in this fight. But he has to go about it in an educated way. Rigondeaux's not gonna win if he just goes out there and do this little flicker jab, looking to load up on a couple punches and, you know, call it a early night. That's not gonna happen, because Donaire is one of those rare fighters. And when I say rare, there's only maybe a handful of boxers that I would say that are unboxable. Like guys like Tommy Hearns are unboxable. You can't outbox those dudes. You can outfight them though. Guys like, you know, Roy Jones Jr., their raw talent, physical attributes, and just skill level makes it almost impossible to try to beat them in that element. That's why when I say you gotta outfight some of these guys, what I mean outfighting these guys, not just straight on some Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti type of shit, but incorporating some of your boxing elements into your approach. And see, that's just looking at things from a strategic perspective. We're not even mentioning all the intangibles like professional experience. Now, I don't care what anybody says, but amateur experience and professional experience is two different things. I guarantee you that Rigondeaux hasn't fought anybody on the level of Donaire in the amateurs, or with that type of style, physicality, size, attributes, talent, all of that shit. In my honest opinion, I feel Rigondeaux isn't ready for this fight. I feel that he needed a good gut check, like a good effort type of fight, where somebody really tries to actually win against him and really try to kick his ass, and tough customer dude who's throwing a bunch of punches. You know, we never really saw Rigondeaux fight somebody who wasn't really tailor-made for him. I honestly think a guy like Darchinian would have been a good step-up type of fight for Rigondeaux to take. Somebody who's been in there with everybody, has good power, is tough, awkward, he's aggressive as hell. You know, someone to really test Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, he hasn't been tested in that aspect, at least not at the professional ranks, and that's what we're dealing with. All that shit he did in the amateurs, that's all fine and dandy and cool back then. He's been awarded for that with the gold medals, but he really hasn't been doing anything in the professional ranks. You know, let's just keep it real here. I mean, his resume right now in the professional ranks, shit, it's better than Gary Russell Jr.'s and damn Kimbo, but like, that's it. Like, you know, it isn't, you know, it's not a who's who list of boxers on that list, on that resume. So what I'm trying to say is, you don't know how some fighters are going to react when they in the ring with somebody who's actually trying to kick their ass, who's really trying to fucking win a damn fight. Like, look at that fight I showed you with Concepcion and Donaire. You see how Concepcion, especially if you've seen the whole fight before, you see how he never really let Donaire breathe, even though he was getting hit with some hellacious, brutal shots. He always stayed on him. He always tried his best, and he landed shots, and he made Donaire work for that fight. We haven't seen Rigondeaux really work for any damn thing. So that's why, you know, I really couldn't pick him to win this fight with Nonito Donaire. He has a great chance. I heard that Donaire's like what a 2-1 favorite, or it's some close odd like that. You know, this is the sport of boxing, the theater of the unexpected. So Rigondeaux has a great chance, but me personally, I don't like those chances, because I feel he has to fight the most perfect type of fight to beat Donaire. He has to be aggressive enough to win rounds, but he can't be too aggressive where he leaves himself opening for a big shot. So with that said, I'm gonna just go with Donaire by knockout. I feel it's gonna be a late round knockout. And the way I want to really look at this matchup, it's gonna be like a high speed chess match. But the difference is one player is gonna be playing to capture the little pieces. Like, you might say they're a little insignificant, like the little pawns, the knights, little shit like that. Well, another player is going to be looking for the big moves that could put the king in check. And I feel that's going to be Rigondeaux. He's going to go after the big shots. He's going to really just try to spend the whole fight trying to set something up big, while Donaire is actually winning rounds until the inevitable. So with that said, Donaire by brutal knockout, somewhere within the late rounds. I would say anything probably from round 7 to round 10 or some shit. And with that, you have my prediction on Donaire and Rigondeaux. Should be a decent fight. We've been spoiled lately with all the good fights we've been having, but I don't think this fight is going to be a stinker, although it has the potential to be. So with that said, this is Swag Science. Donaire by brutal knockout. And, you know, once again, you know, check hoodallstars.com for the latest news and all that other rah-rah. And, you know, check the description link for my mixtape. 1.